Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Messi Delight and here I post sewing tutorials. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you step by step how to cut and sew this pinafore ruffle dress with tassels. I'll walk you through the cutting, the sewing and the finishing process. So let's just get right into the video. So here I have 2 yards of crepe fabric. I'm working with crepe fabric. I have 2 yards, but you can use 2 to 2.5 yards of crepe fabric. I have my tassels, then I have my zipper, and of course my thread. So this is what I'm going to be using to make this pinafore dress. So we're going to work with our underbust. So I'm placing my underbust at that place, and I'm getting the full length of the gown, like adding your extra 2-inch allowance. So you get the from your underbust, get the full length of your gown, add extra 2-inch allowance. You're going to use the measurement of that to mark onto the other end, so you can have like a straight line. After doing that, this is what I have. So this new line you're seeing now is going to be the starting point for whatever I am going to draft out. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just dividing, that's the underbust line. I'm dividing the underbust line by 4 and adding my extra 2-inch allowance. So I forgot to mark my waistline and my hip line. So after doing this, I decided to mark my waistline. That's my half length measurement. I'm marking it right now. After doing that, I'm going to use my ruler to connect using this, making a straight line. Then on this new founded line, I'm going to go down by 8 inch. You can go down by 8 inch, you can go down by 9 inch. What we're trying to do, we're trying to locate our hip line. I'm trying to locate our hip line. So now I'm going to use my ruler again to make a straight line. So now I have my underbust line, waistline, and of course my hip line. Now that that's done, the same way we divided our round on the bust measurement by 4, adding extra 2-inch allowance, you're going to divide your waist measurement by 4 and also add your extra 2-inch sewing allowance. Then you divide your hip measurement by 4 and also add your extra 2-inch sewing allowance. So now I'm trying to connect those points. So I'm connecting my waistline to my underbust, and I'm going to use my pattern master to connect from my waist to my hip line. Next, on my hip line, I'm going to minus 1 inch from whatever I have on my hip line. Now it depends on how you want the shaping, and that's the figure of your skirt to look like. I don't want it to be too tight, so I said to go down by I said to subtract 1 inch from whatever I had at my hip line. And I'm going to mark the same thing at this edge, this point right now. Now if you want, you can minus extra 1 inch again from that point. It depends on what you want. So I'm now going to connect the lines. After doing this, I can now go ahead to cut it out. I forgot to mention my fabric was folded into 2 before I started using my chalk to mark anything. Next, I folded my fabric into 2. This is to cut the back piece. So I'm going to pick up my front and place it over this newly folded piece. Now what I'm trying to mark out right now is our back piece. So place this on top, make sure the ends are equal, and I'm going to um, add my extra 2-inch zipper allowance, which is the space that you see facing me. After doing that, I'm going to use my scissors again to cut round 8. Now that that's done, on our half length line, I'm going to extend it onto the back piece. Now on this new line that is at my back piece, I want to go in by 0.7. This is so we can eliminate any zipper bulge at the back of our dress. So I'm kind of slanting the line this way and to the top. When slanting to the top, I didn't go all the way to the end. I left like half inch. So now after doing that, I can now use my scissors to cut through this new line. So see the way I'm cutting mine and cut yours like mine. Now that that's done, I can now use my scissors now to open up my zipper allowance. Now, to avoid confusion, you can use your chalk to mark, oh, this is my zip, this is my hip line, this is my waist, and this is the end of the dress. Don't forget, whatever you're marking, that's my hip line, my waistline, my zipper, it should be at the back and at the wrong side of the fabric. So now I'm done with this. I'm going to fold it up. Now I'm going to cut out our back. That's our upper back piece. Now to cut out our top back piece, I folded my fabric into two and I went ahead to mark my shoulder line. That's the first line you see. Then I have my chest line. I do get my chest line by adding 1 inch to the division of my shoulder measurement. Then I have my bust line and I have my underbust line plus our allowance. So I added extra 1 inch allowance. So you know this is the back piece. We're going to mark out that same zipper allowance. So whatever zipper allowance you give to the skirt area, do same for here. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect this. So this new line is our zipper allowance. Don't forget we're cutting our the half length part of our back piece. Next, divide your shoulder measurement by 2. Make a mark. On your chest line, what should be there is the division of your shoulder measurement again. So I'll divide my shoulder measurement there by 2. Then connect it. So this whole new line is our armhole line. So now I want to go down by 1 inch. This is for our shoulder slope. Then I'll get the midpoint from our shoulder slope to our chest line. Make a mark. Go in by ½ inch. Then connect from the shoulder slope to that ½ inch and from that ½ inch to your chest line. So we have successfully created our armhole curve. Next, we're going to divide our bust measurement by 4. We're not going to add that 2 inch allowance. We're not going to add any allowance. In fact, we don't need any allowance to this because it's a pinafore. Now, I'm going to skip that line. Here on my underbust line, I'm going to mark my underbust measurement by 4. No allowance again. Then use my ruler to connect it. That's done. Now time for us to mark our neckline. For my neck width, I'm going to use 4 inch. So I'm working with 4 inch. I'll make a mark. Now for the depth, I said to use 11 inch. So let's use 11.5. Sorry, I'm using 11.5. Now I'm going to use my pattern master to create a curve like line. After doing that, I'm going to use my pattern master again, my ruler, to connect it into the zipper allowance. Next is to connect our shoulder slope. Now that that's done, I want to minus that's I want to subtract ½ inch from this point. That's done. Then I'll go over here and I'll minus 1 inch. When making yours, minus 1.5 because I realized that 1 inch was too little. Then I'm connecting it this way. So it's kind of like a slanted line. So if you notice here, we don't have any allowance added to our body measurement and we don't have any that. So now that I'm done with the marking, it's now time to cut this. So you're going to use your scissors to cut around this. Sorry that that's off camera. At that line, what I'm doing right now is to mark half inch. So I marked half inch at that point, and I'm going to use my pattern master to make a slanted line upward. So this is still the same zipper bulge we're trying to eliminate. So after I use my pattern master to now make a slanted line, I can now go ahead to cut through this new line. That's done. So I want to cut another piece of this. One will serve as the lining, another one will serve as the main fabric. So cut another piece of this. So I should have four of this back. So just use your chalk to mark so you can know where the back is and of course where the front is. So you should have four of this. Next, I want to measure what I have as the shoulder. After knowing what I have at that shoulder point, I'm not going to cut the pinafore extension for our front. So the width, whatever we have at our shoulder line plus our extra, you can add 1 inch or half-inch sewing allowance. The length of this would be a half length from our shoulder to our under bust length plus extra 1 inch or extra 1.5 inch allowance. And then we are cutting this. I'm going to fold my fabric into two again and use this to cut out another. Next is we want to cut out lining for the waistline of our skirt of both the back and the front. So you're going to fold the fabric into two again, then you're going to cut out the lining. The lining you're cutting out isn't much, it's just like a 6 inch lining for the waistline. Not, you don't need much, just like a 6 inch lining, sorry. So this is what I have. I have my back piece and I have the lining for it. So I have like, see, I have 5.5. So you're going to cut out for both the back and for the front. So this is my front skirt plus its lining. So let me show you how it looks like. The same 5.5 inch. Next is that we want to cut our ruffle. So if you want, you can cut your ruffle folded into two. You can cut folded into two. This if you want your ruffle to be like folded into two. But for mine, I don't want. I'm going to cut it, let it be only one piece. Then I can use my machine to just fold in the ends. So I'm going to be marking at the back part of this fabric. You don't mark at your front. So I'm marking at the back part of my fabric, the length of my, sorry, not length, the width of my ruffle. For the length, you want something very, very, very long. So when you make the ruffle, it's going to look full. So I'm working with 3 inch for the width of my ruffle. So I'm going to mark 3 inch. Keep on marking 3 inch till I get the desired length I want. So at this point, I decided to show you guys how everything should look like. So this is the back. This is my the back part of our fabric. So I have this and I have this. So one is the lining and one is our main fabric. So I'm going to pick up the main fabric, move out the lining. You want to sew it for the main dress right now. So I have so I'm going to open up this back piece. Now you're going to get your strap, place it so the right sides can be both be facing each other. Then you're going to flip this over so you can use your scissors to trace out the shoulder slope which you have on the back. That's on the back piece. Next is use half of an inch to join this. Now repeat the same process for the lining. After joining them, this is what I have. So picking off my ruffle, see I folded one end of the ruffle, and for the length I have something long, very 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 long. I didn't actually measure what I have, but I have something very 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 long.
At this point, I'm making marks to know where my underbust is. I'll do the same for both front and back of this. Then my ruff is going to start from one end of the fabric to the other end of the fabric. The allowance I'm just marking is that so I will know where it is located. Sorry, please don't mind my placement. My ruff is going to start from the end of the fabric, not at that line, to the other end of the other end of the fabric. I'll use the needle and thread to gather my ruffles.
So after sewing it on the dress, this is what I have. Next is that we're going to use our lining to turn this up. So I'm going to get my lining so I can use it to turn these two up. Remember, so I'm going to place it the front to front. See the way I'm placing mine, and place yours like mine. I'm going to use half inch to sew round this. The only part I'm not sewing is our under bust line. I'm not going to sew that part because that's where I will turn this up through from. So after sewing, I have something like this. This is what I have. So now I'm going to make nudges so that the reason for this nudge is so that after turning this up and ironing is going to relax. So after using your scissors to make nudges, you're going to follow from one end to turn it up. After turning it up, use your pressing iron to iron it down flat. And so this is what I have. After ironing them up, this is what I have at the end. So now trying time to join this to our skirt. So this is how I'm joining it. So remember we marked out our underbust line minusing out that um extra allowance, that is that faint line you're seeing right now. So I'm trying to just extend it, let's make it more visible. Then on my skirt line I'm marking 1 inch. Remember I added extra 2 inch to my skirt, 1 inch for joining the waistline and 1 inch for ending it down. So I took away the first 1 inch from my skirt line. Now what this part I'm placing on that is equal to equal is my zipper line. After I place that part equal to equal, I'm my pin to hold it down. Then I'm going to get the lining of that particular back piece and place it over the over it, just the same way you see me placing. Again, use my pin to hold it down. Now I will go over and sew on 1 inch line. This is so we will not our waistline, like from the back you won't be seeing those extra allowance from our waistline. That's just the cost of this, the reason for doing all this. Now I went ahead to sew on the two sides of mine, but then I realized it's not needed because I will still have to weave the other ends of this dress. So if you want, you can fold, you can also turn up yours, that's the zipper part and the where you have your hip line if you also want, but it's not needed since you're going to weave it through. Now we want to join our front to, well, I know I've joined the back piece, so time to join and turn up the skirt area of the front. So I went in from the waist, I went in by 2 inch. Please when yours go in by 3 to 3.5 inch, going by 3 to 3.5 inch. After doing that, I'm going to use my chalk to mark the line at both sides, that or I'm going to make a notch. So I'm making a notch right now. After making the notch, I can now open this up. So this is what I have after opening it up. Now I'm going to get this, I'm going to get it up, and so I can get the front of it. So make sure if you're placing it that both sides are facing the side, so you wouldn't carry, like you don't inter switch it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So I'm placing it right side to right side. The corresponding front side will be touching each other. Then I'm going to use my pin to hold it down. I'm going to get the other part again, use my pin again to hold it down. See the way I'm holding it down, and hold yours down like mine. After doing that, I'm going to get the lining piece to I'm going to let the lining piece and place it over it. Use the same 1 inch and turn it up. After the turning up of our front, this is what I have. Don't forget that after you turn up, you're going to trim out the excesses at your waistline only. So this is what I have. So the next step we have to do right now is to place our zipper. So you're going to place your zipper. Don't forget to hem the ends of your dress. Also hem the ends of your dress using your hemming gum. Then also when ironing, you can put your hemming gum into the into the waistline so you can lap well after ironing. To attach your zipper, make sure the ends of your back, that is, are equal to equal, both at the neckline and at the zipper. Make sure they're equal. Use your pin to hold it down. Then you can go ahead to mark um the length you want your zipper to be, then the length you want your slip to be, it at the back, and then you go over and fix your zipper. After fixing my zipper, this is what I have. So I'm just zipping it up. I turn the flip it over to the front. So I'm trying to show you how the zipper is looking like. Next, we want to do right now is to now shape this in accordance to our body measurement. Now, and go ahead to use your hemming gum to open up the slits, or you wait after weaving gum to open up the slit. You're still going to open up in accordance to how many inch added for your zipper. So I use 2 inch for my zipper allowance, meaning I want to fold, I want it to be exactly that same 2 inch allowance. So I iron the zip. This is what it's looking like now, and this is the back. I didn't add any hemming gum yet because I want to weave before adding any hemming gum into that. The reason for adding hemming gum is that hemming gum is like a gum, it's going to hold it up, so the slits won't be opening up. So just close it like this using your hemming gum. So this is the front of our pinafore. This is where our tassels will be. So if you want, you can now place your tassels right here now and attach it to how you want it to look like. You just place it, then use a needle and thread, tack the tassels onto the dress. But I won't be doing mine now. I will do after the whole making of the dress. I will then attach my tassels to it. So I flip this over to the back. I want my bust measurement divided by 4. Sorry, my underbust measurement divided by 4, because this is a pinafore aside from my underbust line. Underbust measurement divided by 4, mark exactly that. Mark it to at the other end. After that, you're going to divide your waist, mark it to. Now, you're going to mark your hip measurement by 4. Make the same mark, and at the end, we use our hip measurement minus 1. Then you mark it too. After shaping my pinafore, this is how it looks like. So the second to the last thing we need to do now is to open this up and iron out each and every seams of this pinafore. That's the two shaping of our side. You need to iron it open. Turn it over to the back, iron it open so it can look nice and neat. Then you can go ahead to add your tassels wherever you want it to be. That's if you haven't attached your tassels to your. Don't forget to close the end of your zipper. And this is the end result. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching.